All right, welcome back, Bronco Nation, to another edition of the Bronco Country Roundup and another recruiting edition because we just had signing day, so let's get to know some of these guys. I hope everyone's Christmas season is going well. If you haven't already, make sure to go shopping, get your presents wrapped. I am lucky enough to where my wife takes care of all that, so thank you, Missy, for doing that. Our next guest was kind of a Boise State's own little surprise Christmas present. He did not announce his recruitment publicly until the day of signing day. And that was pretty exciting. Sounds like we're going to get into it. He probably didn't give the coaches all that much warning either. So that's pretty exciting for them as well. My next guest is a 6'4", 200-pound athlete. We're going to get into where he's playing on the blue. Out of Cody, Wyoming, he is Chase Hatch. Welcome on, Chase. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, thank you.
Absolutely. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about the Swiss Army knife that is Chase Hatch on a football field. You play a little bit of everything. Talk to me about you as a player. What do you bring to the field, and what did Boise State say? Man, I need to have that player.
Especially Boise State, they said they really liked my length with the athleticism that I had with my length and speed, all of that brought together, and then a big frame. That's especially what they liked. And then when I filled downhill defensively, they liked how I made a thud and the pile completely stopped and went backwards.
You made a thud. I like that. That's a good way to put it. You want somebody who brings a thud. How did your senior season go? I understand it probably didn't end quite like you wanted, and that happens. But talk to me about your senior season.
It was great. I had a fun time with all of my brothers and my coaches, and we were pretty good. We just ended up losing twice to the same team and didn't finish how we wanted to in the state championship game. But other than that, it was a great season.
And you played a ton. In fact, most of your highlights are you playing wide receiver. How do you like playing wide receiver?
It's fun. I liked it a lot. Always like scoring touchdowns.
And you also play quite a bit of defensive back. And just to break the news, Bronco Nation, you are being brought in on the defensive side. You played a lot of defensive back, but they're bringing you in as a linebacker. Here's your signing day graphic. You see a linebacker right there. Talk to me about the playing defensive back and how you think that experience doing that in high school will translate and help you play linebacker in college.
Well,
oh, Chase, I think we're having some technical difficulties. Let's give you a moment here. 1 second. All right, we have some technical difficulties. Chase is back. We were talking about the transition from a defensive back in high school to a linebacker in college. Talk to me about how you think that's going to go and what playing defensive back in high school is going to do to help you in college.
A lot with my speed and athleticism to cover space and to cover more routes, because now in college football there's a lot more coverage wise, and so the speed and knowing how to use my feet and cover is going to help me a lot.
And I appreciate you hanging in there with the technical difficulties. Where do you think you improved the most from the start of your senior season to the end? Where did you surprise yourself maybe?
I would say moving from DB in the middle of the season to linebacker, and then learning all the different reads and everything else, and then finally getting it and just rolling with it well.
And let's get into your recruitment a little bit. Where you announced on signing day publicly, when did you tell the coaches that you were going to commit to Boise State?
I told them two nights before. Yep.
So it was really kind of a last minute surprise there. Who were your final three? Who were you kind of considering the most there at the end?
At the end it was Wyoming, Boise State, and New Mexico.
And when you were considering those three, and any other school for that matter, what were your priorities? What did you want out of a college campus experience? What were your priorities there?
Well, something that's really important to me is culture. And Boise State has a great culture, and they built a great culture. Along with that is like a winning tradition as well. And then just a great town, great people, and amazing coaches.
And you came to Boise for an official visit. When did you come for, and what game did you come for your official visit on?
It was can't remember what team.
That's okay. I'm not worried about that. Tell me about the experience, though. What did you learn or take away from that trip to Boise?
Oh, it was great. I'd only been out there once before, so it was good to actually get to talk more with the coaches and realize where they saw me fitting in to the Boise defense. And so that was great. And then to see the atmosphere was super amazing, and all the fans and everything. It was awesome.
And was there any particular coach that you kind of connected with on your visit, or?
Well, a little bit more with Coach Collins, because he was the one that has been recruiting me a little bit more than, so he was over me at least. So yeah.
And that kind of goes into my next question. So linebacker, was that always the position the Boise State wanted you at, or were they talking wide receiver or safety, and then you ended up at linebacker? How did that go?
No, they always wanted me for linebacker ever since they started talking to me. So yeah.
And when did Boise State first come in contact with you?
Junior year. After, I'm not sure. I came down for a junior day is when they first got in contact with me.
And you came down and you worked out as wide receiver, defensive back, and everything. Obviously, you did. You impressed them. Obviously, when did you get the official offer?
When they invited me down to a junior day to tour all the campuses and everything, and then they brought me into the head coach's office and offered me.
That's a quick pull of the trigger there. They offered you real fast. You must have really impressed them there. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
Now my understanding is that you're going to be going on a 2-year mission. Is that correct?
Yep.
And you will be heading out immediately, like in the beginning of next year, correct?
Like 1st of July. Yep.
July. Okay. So Bronco Nation's not actually going to see you on the blue until the class of 2027. Does that sound right to you?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got quite a bit of gap there.
Yeah.
What do you think you're going to have to do physically to be ready to play linebacker at the collegiate level? Has Boise State kind of laid out what they are hoping that you look like when you come back from that mission?
They haven't laid it out much yet, but we're getting with the strength and conditioning coach, and he's going to set out like a plan, and that will vary depending on what kind of weights and stuff that I have on my mission. But that will be they're going to give me a set and a plan to do workouts and stuff. So we'll see. Yep.
That's exciting. Let's get to know you just a little bit more. My one of my favorite questions when I hear someone's going on a mission is, and you haven't got your mission orders yet, so you don't know where you're going. Where do you have a preference? Do you want to go anywhere in particular? Do you want to speak a foreign language?
I do not want to speak a foreign language. I want to stay in the States.
Well, you're guaranteed to get a foreign language. I've now.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Well, Where you go, that is going to be an amazing experience for you. So I congratulate you on that. That's very exciting. Cody, Wyoming, beautiful. I love Wyoming. I would love to live in Wyoming. Not necessarily what some would call a football hotbed. Talk to me about playing football in Wyoming. Is the elevation really, does it make that big of a difference?
It doesn't. To me, it does not make a difference at all. I don't think, at least.
So
I mean,
so
I've
those
my whole life, so
you've lived there your whole life, is that what you said?
yeah.
Okay, so maybe you're just used to it, because Wyoming sure does puff up their chest about their elevation. So I was
Yeah.
just curious. I've
Yeah.
never I've been to Wyoming, never played football there, so I was just curious. What do you like to do away from the field when you're not playing football?
I like to hunt, fish, just like be in the mountains, anything competitive wise, like with my brothers, and yeah.
And that sounds like a Wyoming boy, if I've ever heard one. You're going to fit right in Idaho then. That's very exciting. What when you came down here to Idaho, did you fish at all?
I
Have
did not.
time?
I did not have time to. Nope.
You're just a little too busy trying to get that offer, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna love it. There's a lot of great fishing. You can walk right across from the stadium, right to the Boise River, and get some fishing in it. Just don't hook the goalpost, which is
Yep.
hopefully out of the river for environmental purposes.
Yeah.
So talk to me about Boise State is playing in the playoff right now, and they have a legitimate shot at a national championship. That's not something that Boise State's ever had before because of this new 12-team playoff. Did that kind of affect your decisions there? Like knowing that Boise State now, I mean, they have a path to the national championship.
Well, not a little bit, obviously, but not very much. I just saw that they just created such a great culture they have, and such a winning tradition, like every year with so many Mountain West championships. They just created a culture that attracts athletes and competitors.
And Spencer Danielson, talk to me about your relationship with Spencer Danielson.
Oh, when I first met him, it was like, this guy is amazing. Like, he puts God first and everything, and he's a great guy.
There's no doubt about that. And he has a lot of what some of us media members call Danielsonisms, or maybe quick little phrases that he uses a lot of. Do you have a favorite one yet? Or are you still, 3 years from now, he may have some new ones. I doubt it, but he might. Do you have a favorite Danielsonism?
I think just the one that I've always heard the most is just God bless. Like, he always says that to me in every text after everything. God bless. Like, yeah, I love it.
It's a great way to end any message, right?
Yep.
My personal favorite, and this one I can guarantee you will be there in 3 years, is the next I messed it up. The next game's the biggest because it's the next, essentially, is what it is. And so that one is my favorite, and he will probably say that till the day he passes away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So another phrase that Boise State uses a lot, and I'm going to just kind of end on this. I appreciate you coming in today and talking with me. We hear a lot about built different. What does built different mean to you?
When I first heard it from them, it was like something I hadn't really heard of that much. So it was just like, I wanted to learn more about it. And then when I went there, it was like, this is awesome. You're always striving to be different. You're working harder than the next guy, than your opponent, to be different.
That's a great way to put it. And I think that's a great way to end. Chase, I can't thank you enough. I'll be keeping in contact with you. Have a great time on your mission. You're going to learn a lot, maybe a new language. Who knows? It's going to be exciting, and I can't wait to see you on the blue in a couple of years. Chase, thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. You have a great day in Bronco Nation. I know Ashton Jeanty didn't win the Heisman. Don't be bummed out about that. It's okay. Let's get ready for the Fiesta Bowl and focus on that, because the best thing you can do, Boise State can do to get some payback on Travis Hunter, is watch Ashton Jeanty run over a whole bunch of Penn State or SMU players. So don't get down. We will be doing a Bronco Country Roundup podcast. It's going to come out, I believe, tomorrow night, and it's going to be focused on basketball. We're going to take a little break from football. We're going to focus on basketball for a week. So be looking for that coming out soon. Thank you for watching, and as always, go Broncos.